Hey YouTube, Kai the Casual here. We have some exciting news. Starting in this video, this is going to be the start of a new show that I'm going to be doing quick wrestling reviews on. So right now we have a couple of regular shows that we do. I'll call them shows. Of course, we do predictions for the PLEs and pay-per-views for AEW and WWE. And then we do what I call R&R for each one of those, which is ratings and reviews. Not rest and relaxation, but that was kind of a whole play on it. You know, hey, we're keeping it casual here. We're relaxing, but we're also, doing our little humble reviews and our little ratings. So, yeah, those are the two regular things that we've been doing. We've been doing well with those to start, despite the crazy weekend that AEW had competing. We've done well with that so far. So, finally, I'm going to be doing weekly reviews of Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, maybe Collision. Collision is up in the air. NXT is I need to hear from you guys if you want me to cover NXT as well, because that's 3 days in a row that I'm devoting time to watching pro wrestling. And as much as I enjoy it, your boy need the rest, okay? So, yes, I am a hardcore fan. However, sometimes I take the time to catch up on things after they happen. But I love NXT as well. So let me know in the comments this week, or any posts that we post here on the channel about, hey, I want to hear about NXT, or I want to hear about Collision, because I don't know about doing Collision all the time. So it might be primarily Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown, and we'll see where this goes. But we're calling this new show that'll happen weekly for those shows Kye's Top 5. And how this is going to work is we're going to be doing mini reviews, just giving you my personal highlights of the show. Not too many critiques and negatives, just because I usually save that for the PLEs, because that's when they're really putting on the A content. And, sometimes TV matches and TV angles, yes, they're building up to the pay-per-views and the PLEs, but sometimes the action isn't that exciting until you get to like the main event. But that's not always the case either. There might be times I want to talk about something cool that happened on a show. That's what Kye's Top 5 is for. Just 5 big things that happened on the show that I enjoyed. Or maybe not even that big, just things I personally enjoyed. And hopefully it gets you to watch. Hopefully it gets you to enjoy pro wrestling. That's what we're here for. Pro wrestling without the toxicity or the tribalism. So we are, of course, going to be doing this for WWE and AEW. The wider wrestling world is going to have to wait. I'm still not watching TNA weekly. I do catch up on clips and things for that. And I do monitor Ring of Honor. I do not monitor AAA CMLL or New Japan Pro Wrestling crazily. But I will probably start posting in maybe a future weekend show that I would like to do, things that are going on in the outer sphere of like the 2 biggest companies. So like your number 3 company in North America, or pro wrestling in general, is TNA right now, followed by AEW, and then WWE is up top. So, and again, a lot of this channel is WWE, but that's just because, trying to get that algorithm. But of course, we're going to be talking about AEW. Of course, we're going to be talking TNA and New Japan, AAA, and CMLL when they're relevant. And everything is cross promotion nowadays, so there'll be plenty of things to talk about. So, I want to start Kye's Top 5 tonight, starting with Raw tonight. So I'm recording this after Monday Night Raw tonight. Fantastic episode. especially the main event. But we will get to that later because we need to start with an honorary mention. If you don't know, I might have worn a shirt that showed you in a previous video. My favorite band is Linkin Park. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. But I am still very happy with the direction of the band now. Hey, I like the old and the new. Call me crazy. And one of the new singles on the deluxe album, Up From the Bottom, was playing during the opening package covering the events of SummerSlam. So just to me, that got me in the personal feelings a little bit, or my personal taste, I should say. So yeah, thank you WWE for that one. That was cool. And shout out to Linkin Park. Moving on. So starting from number 5, I'm gonna be doing this in a countdown type style. Okay, my first highlight of the night, my top 5, starts with Sheamus hitting a second rope super white noise. A move I don't think we see white noise a lot nowadays. I've told the story before that Saturday Morning Slam back in the day on CW4 Kids got me, like, that was the first thing I was watching regularly before I discovered, I could keep up with WWE on YouTube. And I was like, oh, snap. Wrestling's on my Saturday morning cartoons. Awesome. So white noise was a move I saw him hit a lot back then. And I don't think I've seen it a lot for, like, a long time. I could be wrong, but anyway. But seeing him hit white noise was very cool to see. Rusev sold it like $1 million. Match ended in a count out, which was kind of disappointing. But we're not here to critique too much because it led to something that we'll talk about later. So let's get to number 4. My number 4 top 5 moment was the post-match beatdown by Penta on the New Day. When he grabs Xavier Woods' morning hat and he just tosses it at him, and then he, leaps on him and beats him down and looks like a star after beating Grayson Waller. Transitioning, though, this is kind of a two-parter. Sheamus and Rusev are still brawling from their count-out match earlier in the night, and they're just brawling like it's a Family Guy chicken fight. And allies of convenience, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, are just walking past like, oh, that's happening. Okay, cool. And I would have loved it if they showed it happening, like all the way brawling out into the parking lot throughout the night. But we had a lot of things happening on this show, so I'm glad for that initial scene. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Moving on, though, my number 3, speaking of allies of convenience, we had a retention of their titles against the Judgment Day of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez in a fun match. You can see them getting along now. Both of them hit a natural selection in stereo. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm very happy to see them getting along. We'll see where this takes them. I really hope they use these 2 top stars of the company to elevate those tag titles, to make them matter. Let's see them on SmackDown, Raw, NXT. And I'm genuinely happy, again, I said it before, but I'm genuinely glad that Charlotte Flair is getting cheered. So, good for you. You gave me a reason to cheer you. Great job, Charlotte. Great job, WWE. Number 2. I got a lot to say about the ladies tonight. Backstage and on-screen continuing of women's storylines. So I made this one whole point, but there's multiple things that happened here. So, of course, we just had that tag match. That was cool. But we also had a scene where Asuka, Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors are, talking to their damage control buddy, Io Sky, even though that faction is no more. Io is solo right now, but the Kabuki Warriors are together. So, and let's hopefully see some tag action with them soon too. Please book it. But that story continues where Rhea pretty much excuses the Kabukis, and Asuka's like, "Talk to your friend." it was kind of like a smart little retort or whatever. So I don't know. Does Asuka have a little? I might be looking into this too much, but does Asuka have a little bit of annoyance with that? I don't know. Maybe we'll see Asuka versus Rhea on Raw at some time, just for the kicks of it, right? So that would be cool. But of course, Rhea actually cheers on Io, who has requested a World Women's Title match against Naomi. I think that will be happening next week, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, and she wishes her, good luck. She's like, I hope you beat Naomi because there's nothing more I want to do than to beat you and to take that title off of you. And Io, even in her limited English, goes, Rhea, you will never beat me. And I love that we're continuing this thing of Io is the kryptonite for Rhea. I love that. So we'll see what happens. And later in the night too, Naomi has a backstage promo with Stephanie Vaquer, where they're teasing that match for, I believe, Clash in Paris, and yeah, so I think Naomi probably still retains, and then we see that in Clash. I know I said we're not going to critique too much, but WWE, I want to see Naomi in the American broadcast. Santi and Denise Salcedo, thank you guys. If you, for some reason, see this video, thank you guys for showing that on your social medias. I guess they watch Netflix on channels outside the U.S., but I didn't like that I didn't get to see Naomi during the commercial break. She cut a promo, and then she had the backstage segment. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. She's the holder of one of your top titles. Get it together. And last but definitely not least, my number one moment of the night was the amazing LA Knight versus Seth Rollins main event for the World Heavyweight title. They killed it. In the closing angle, Seth pulls up the outside padding to expose the concrete, and he's ready to stomp LA Knight's head into the ground when CM Punk comes in for the DQ. But he's trying to take revenge for, of course, the cash-in that happened a couple nights ago in SummerSlam Night 1. The Brawns come out. I'm not going to call them that, though. The faction has a name. They are called The Vision. I love it. That's the name of Seth Rollins' theme song, and it's also part of his whole intro, like, I am a visionary, I am a revolutionary, I am Seth freaking Rollins. I love it. The Vision. Let's go. And it plays into Paul Heyman's name, too. He calls himself the Oracle now. Oracle is, somebody, sees things, in the future and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, great angle, but The Vision beats down Punk, too, and it looks like great. We're about to go off the air. We see Paul and Lee Fittings thing comes up at the executive producers, and then Roman Reigns music hits and he beats everybody down except for Seth, who goats him into the ring, and then he cowers away like a punk. And then the rest of the Division get up and they attempt to, respond to Reigns, but Reigns is Samoan Superman, man, so he's beating them down too, and Seth comes in from behind as he's beating them both down for the stomp. The Division gets on top. We see spears on Roman Reigns, tsunamis on Roman from Bronson, until the executives and security, of course, break it up, and that's how we go off the air. So that was a good episode of Raw. Let me know what you guys thought of this in the comments. Let me know what you think about this format of doing Kye's Top 5. And of course, guys, I love you. Enjoy pro wrestling. And for the love of pro wrestling, let's relax and keep it casual.